Hello, it's me again with one of these things. And yeah, I'm back home, back in the place, back with the lugs on, and oh, everything feels good. Everything feels good. I'm in a very, very good place, very good frame of mind. I was sitting by the water just yesterday when I came back home, and I had this weird feeling that I was like, things feel a bit different than they were last time I was here. And we got through a lot. This contractual gigs that we had to do that were booked through our old agent. So it's the final part of that phase, and then we're going on to the new phase. We recorded this album. So getting all of those worries and all those concerns out the way, and I'm sitting by the water going, what is this feeling? And I realized it was happiness. I was feeling happy. And it's not natural. It's natural. Obviously it's natural, but it's new to me. It's not common to me, that this feeling of happiness, that everything is as it should be, and it was a nice one. So I'm looking forward to this podcast. I've got these fucking ridiculous glasses I bought because my other glasses broke, because I buy cheap glasses and they fall apart, and so I'm going to take these off every chance that I get on this one. So as soon as I read this question by Jim Roper, off come the fucking spookticles. Hypothetically, asks Jim, Billie Eilish and or Taylor Swift want to cover a Wildheart song, and you get to choose the song. Which one would you choose for each? Which song would suit a pop makeover? That's a different question. I'd have fucking Billie Eilish do fucking Vernix and Taylor Swift do Sky Babies. But no, I don't know. They would be obvious pop crossover songs if I thought about it, which I can't imagine ever thinking about what Wildheart songs would be good pop crossovers, because part of the charm is that they have pop in them. Take these things off. Part of the charm of these songs is they have pop in them, but they're perverted. They have elements of things. They have elements of thrash or punk or whatever, but they're not thrash songs or punk songs. So I'm not sure any of the Wildheart songs would be ideal pop crossovers, which is why I don't think anyone would ever want to cover one of our songs. Plus, they're too nuanced. There's too much about the fella singing them in the lyrics for them to really translate to anyone else. I think so anyway. So I would say none of them. None of the songs that I've got would make good cover versions for Billie Eilish or Taylor Swift, unless they completely redid the song. Which why would they fucking bother? I'm destined never to get rich from someone covering one of my songs, basically. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm never going to win the lottery, because I already won the lottery once. I probably told you this story on the album rundown, but we were doing Endless Nameless, and I had a dream that all the lottery numbers came up as in the 20s. We were all broke at the time, so I tried to get everyone to put money together to get as many variations of 20 as we could, and no one would do it. Everyone wanted to keep the money and buy beer and stuff. I had, I think, £2, and so I got 2 variations. Anyway, all the numbers came up from the dream, exactly like it happened, all 20s. It was a rollover, something like 80 million, and no one collected it. And my ticket, I think I'd won something like £350 from the £2 that I'd invested in. I tore the fucking ticket up, and I was like, I will never ever make any money from the lottery. And I reckon that the similar thing with songwriting. Not every songwriter has to be covered by big artists. That's not how it works. So I couldn't give a fuck what songs people would want to do, or if indeed they ever would. I'm happy doing it all on me lonesome. Jim Roper again. Is there a moment during the writing, recording process where you know a song is going to be a setlist regular, or whether a song is unlikely to be played? Would it typically be a band decision? No, it's usually the producer's decision. It's the guy that's making the record with me that tells me which songs are going to end up in the setlist. Jim Pinder did it with Troubadour Moon, and I just thought Troubadour Moon was a decent song, nothing special. And he went, no, that'll be in your set list for the rest of time. And it really took me back. I wasn't expecting that song to be anything. And he was right. And it will be in our set list. We play it really well. It always sounds good. It's really fun to play. So, like I say a lot, and I'm not sure that people think I'm trying to be glib or whatever, but I honestly don't know what other people see, the virtues or otherwise of the songs that I write and record. I'm just doing a service. I'm just following a process. And we get to the studio and people go, oh yeah, that's a single. That's going to be in the set list. That one's a weird one. And I'm like, oh, that's my favourite. Always the one that I like is the one that no one else picks up on. So yeah, I'm going to fucking just do that. Alex do it. So yeah, it wouldn't be a band decision because I think we're all in the same kind of place as far as the song. We know which songs we play well, but that's no indication of which songs are going to go down well live. And that's bit us on the arse a few times. That, you got this, oh, it's going to be fucking great, and the lights are this, and the blah, 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 and it just fucking falls to a stony death in front of an audience. And then there's other songs that you didn't think were going to be crowd favourites, and the fucking whole place comes to light when you play them. So long may it be like that. I like the nuts and bolts of what I do to be a bit of a mystery. I like to be a little bit of a Luddite as far as knowing the finery of what we're doing and how it affects other people. I like being a bit of a, for want of a better word, a retard. And I know it's a contentious word. People don't like it, but I'm very fond of that word. It doesn't really mean anything anymore. So yeah, I'm a bit of a retard as far as knowing what other people think. Here's a question by the Seas again. Now, the White Album. Why is this album not big like Foo Fighters? Please talk about writing, inspiration, recording process for this masterpiece. Also, who has the rights for it now, and why is it not on Spotify? Oh, I don't know. It's back in the old days of Round Records, and there's been a few different people being involved in Round Records. And when you're independent, and an independent company goes from hand to hand to hand, it's done. It's a labour of love and passion, and when it's just handed over to someone else, it's kind of it's just not the same. And so, Round Records just fell apart. It started falling apart round about the fucking White Album anyway, which is why the people that were involved aren't involved anymore, and that's why it's not on Spotify, and it would take a long time to go around and sort it all out. So don't expect to find it on Spotify. It's just one of those things, things change. People fall out and then fall back in, but some things are lost forever. But why is it not huge? Because we didn't suck corporate cock, basically. I mean, we didn't court the corporates. And unless you're going to play the game, you ain't going to get invited to the party. That's just the way that it goes. And I've never been one for doing that, holding out me fucking hat for acceptance. I'd rather just, troll ahead myself and get it done than ask for someone's permission. Especially with cap in hand. Can I have more? So yeah, we didn't play the game, and that's why it's not really big. Dave Grohl did play the game, and he's from a very famous band. That's why they're big. And nothing to do with the standard of music. I think everyone kind of knows that now. And most of my favourite bands, and most of my favourite music, most of my favourite movies even, haven't been as big as the big movies. And I don't think I would be alone in saying that my favourite movies like Martyrs, for example, is better than I Know What You Did Last fucking Summer or whatever bullshit fucking teen horror movies. But is it as big? No. Where Evil Lurks, I still find people going like, oh yeah, I was going to check it out, but they're not going to be checking it out because they aren't being reminded every 5 minutes by adverts on social media for its existence. So they have to remember this movie, trust in my judgment, and then go and find it for themselves. And most people don't want to do that. That's why Foo Fighters are big, because it's in your face, because people are paying for advertisement. You've got to go looking for a band like the Wildhearts, and that's why. But yeah, that's why. That's why it's not on Spotify, because fucking independent record companies are a pain in the arse. Danny says songs that we know and love were nearly called something else. And who chooses the song? Who chooses the song titles? I think you probably figure out who chooses the song titles, Danny. They've all probably had different titles. I mean, they probably all start off as the Leg song, or that one that I wrote up back of my mum's garage. That's what they're like on my voicemail anyway. They're all called different things on the voicemail notes that I leave when I'm writing new stuff. Usually the name of places or whatever. They go through some weird little mutation where they become different things until they arrive at their final point. But sometimes songs come from song titles. So the song title absolutely stays the same and the song changes. There's no standard way of doing stuff. I am waffling because I can't see the fucking screens. I tell you what, eyes are fucking bullshit. You know, my eyes work really well for about 50 years. I'm 52 years. And then all of a sudden they stop working that well. And now they're not even shit and I've got to wear glasses all the time. They're kind of all right and kind of shit. So I've got to keep putting these fucking things on and off, which is a pain in the fuck. So yeah, whatever that was. Sorry, I'm in a really good mood and I feel like I'm not taking these questions seriously enough. So I'm going to put my happy head on and relax. Serenity now. When I win the lottery, you're never going to win the lottery, Fungal Bill. I'd like to make a TV documentary. It would be a fly on the wall as you and Maggie travel the world in search of music and peace. Are you in? And where would you like to go? Right. Now, this is a good one. I like questions that aren't about music, to be honest. Sometimes, music questions are a bit fucking exhausting. Why isn't this? Why didn't that? I mean, gives a fuck. Honestly, things have been the way they've been and no one can change that. And I just get tired of talking about the past, to be honest. But yeah, where would I like to go to find music and peace? I don't know. Everywhere. Everywhere that I never thought of going. I really would like to go to Egypt. No. I was thinking about going on a Nile cruise at the end of the year, and then I just thought I probably won't because I can't take Maggie. But I'd like to go to know now that there's stuff going on under the pyramids, these energy vortexes and columns and stuff, that the pyramids themselves are just the tip of something huge. And even that, whatever it is, the reason for it being there is so much bigger than going to see these fucking pyramid-shaped things. I'd love to go there and find peace. Wouldn't be able to go with Maggie. Don't know how we're going to get around that one. But anywhere, never been to India, never been to South America. Yeah, anywhere. I don't really care. But make a TV documentary. If it involves you winning the lottery, then I don't have to worry about it because it's never going to fucking happen because the lottery is a con and you're never going to win. But yeah, if you do win, Fungal Bill, then yeah, you pick where we go. I wouldn't mind that being your choice. And you just tell me where we go. And more importantly, how we're going to get there and how I'm going to take Maggie. And I prefer not to fly because flying is fucking awful. Because I realised that from the last time of travelling to Sweden and back, that most of the cunts in the world exist going to somewhere and coming back. In the actual travel section of anything, there's so many cunts, so many power-crazed fucking maniacs that just want to ruin your day. I had one the other day when we were travelling to Sweden, and this fucking guy just wanted to fucking have a go at me. Didn't like the way that I was. Couldn't find anything wrong, so he decided that this was going to be the thing that was wrong. So, you can't travel with that. I've been travelling with this for the last 15 years. It's stainless steel. It doesn't show up on you. It doesn't bleep. It's fine. Well, you can't travel with it. Well, I'm not fucking taking it off, mate. Well, I'm going to have to get the manager. So the fucking manager came over and his boss came over, and they realised that they'd caused this scene that they had to get out of somehow. And they couldn't. And I'm saying, what is the problem? And this fucking guy's going, well, someone could rip it off your neck and slash someone with it. I'm like, with a fucking necklace? The fuck's someone going to slash someone with something that isn't a weapon? It might as well be a picture of a little thing of a gun. And everyone's going, we don't know what to do. And I went, okay, how about this? And they went, yeah, that'll do. Literally, I put it around the back of my fucking neck and all of a sudden everything was all right. I can't stand cunts like that, and I will go out my way if it takes a week to get there by fucking boat. I'd rather do that if there's not going to be any cunts there. But I just can't stand those sort of people. Power-crazed fucking idiots. It's going to be those kind of people that make me snap and lose my patience. And I don't want to lose my patience because I've worked hard at finding the fucking thing. Steve Pluck says, hi Ginger. Hello Steve. Few questions regarding your art collection and album artwork. Do you own any pieces by Joe Pantagno? No, because he doesn't paint them. He does them on the fucking computer, like that bloody Conrad Keeley. I don't own any of his stuff because all my favourite bits are on computer. A lot of artists do that. Yeah, there's a few artists I've been in touch with. Can I get this piece? Oh yeah, not really. I can do your print. So yeah, I don't own anything by Joe Pantagno, but I do have a chosen few t-shirt from him that he makes just for, well, presumably a chosen few, but it's kind of like a version of the Motorhead face, and he said this is very rare. I don't really like that. Yeah, but there's no original art anymore because everyone does it online. I'm just talking about this. Everything's on fucking line. Everything's on computers, and I'm Generation X, so I predate the internet and computers and all the rest of it, and I still like to write things using one of these in one of these. I like writing stuff and writing it on a fucking acoustic guitar I don't even need electricity for. And I was messing about the other day. The world just seems full of orders now. Give us your face. We want to know what you look like. We want to know what you're doing. And I'm never going to subscribe to all that bullshit. So I'm just like, no, you're not getting any fucking information from me. So my screen went blank. And I went, is this how it's going to work? Is this how the dystopian future begins? How they take control or segregate the troublemakers from the subservient drones that they can control by threatening to turn the phone off? Imagine how much that would fuck a lot of people up. And I just realised, would I be okay if they turned my phone off? And I was very, very happy to realise that, yes, I would be. I'd be fine if they turned my phone off. If they turned this thing off, I just fucking wouldn't do podcasts, obviously. But is that how it would go? They'd start putting all of these ridiculous rules where they get, you're not allowed any privacy anymore. And your sense of self is thoroughly degraded to the point where you will do anything just to keep your mod cons and your comforts. And the rest of them are all sent to the street to start causing trouble, and then people just start shooting them off. And as soon as one person is killed, justifiably so, because they were causing civil unrest, that's it. It turns into fucking Gaza, and people will start getting killed. And in a year, people will go, yeah, I can't even remember when it wasn't like this. And it would solve all of the government's problems in a year. It just get rid of a load of people and chain all the other people to their modes of control. And obviously I wouldn't be either of them. I would be by myself in the fucking forest with Maggie and an acoustic guitar and a pad and a pen. But I remember that there was a time bands used to tour and there was no internet. You used to find out. You used to go to the pub. People used to go around people's houses. Communication didn't begin with fucking computers. And I still, even though this makes me sound like a fucking absolute old fossil, but I still just see this as being, it's flimsy. The amount of control that it has compared to how much you can trust it. I've written books on my laptop and the fucking hard drive's gone down and I've lost everything. And I've had experts try and find it and they go, I've no idea where it's gone. This is impossible. But you have somehow got rid of all of the evidence that you ever wrote a book. I've got pads written by fucking pens of my original songs, the first songs I ever wrote, because I just wrote them on a bit of paper and chucked it in a box, and it's still there, and they won't rot for my lifetime. So I'm glad that I don't completely trust the fucking digital world. I think it's fucking suspect, and I like to always be tested and to know that I'd be fine if it was all taken away. And I suggest that you do the same, because it's a fucking wobbly world out there. And I don't even know if I answered that question or not. Yeah, Joe Pentagno, lovely fella though. I loved working with Joe Pentagno. I didn't expect him to be as nice as he was. I was just like, have you got anything I can use? I'm a big fan, obviously. Anything I can use for an album cover? And he was like, why don't I just paint you something? I know that's what painters do, and I shouldn't be that blown away, but fucking hell, when someone that I like turns around and goes, well, what? And I just do something for you. I've known some artists, you probably know which ones, especially which one, the one artist that I fell out with, who was a complete, shouldn't talk ill of the dead, but not a great person. And then you get these people, you get guarded, and you approach these people like they might be nice, they might not be nice, and 9 times out of 10 they're fucking lovely, and they're almost glad that you've approached them, that you're a fan of theirs. I love that about artists. I love that about musicians. I'm sure it's the same for any walk of life, but the things that I personally take great pleasure in. It's just nice to know that people are fucking decent out there. And Joe Pentagno is definitely one of them. Do you give an artist a brief or full artistic license? Do they have a chance to listen to the songs for inspiration? Well, a lot of times, Steve, they don't listen to the songs because the album hasn't been done. Artwork famously takes ages. I always, give twice as long for artwork completion, manufacturing, all the rest of it than I do for recording. So a lot of the times I'm approaching artists before there's any music. So they get to hear the music with their artwork on the front. Do I give them a brief or full artistic license? A bit of both, really. When we were doing the 555 thing, I told my brain today is I'm off medication. Right. Disclaimer time. I haven't been doing me medication for about a week and a half now. And I think that's where that massive feeling of happiness came in, because I was prepared for the bumpy parts, and I've strapped myself in, and yeah, it did get bumpy. I wasn't prepared for the highs, and that's the big con, again, with the fucking medical industry, especially the mental health industry, is they flatline everything. And I wasn't ready for the highs. And sometimes you get these huge bursts of happiness. And then I get these huge bursts of confusion. Like I've got to deal with things in real time. And that's why I sometimes answer questions about the past and music and things that have gone wrong. And I'm getting a bit frustrated because this, I think, is the second podcast I've done since I've been off medication. But it's worked for me. I wouldn't recommend it for everyone, but it really has worked for me. I feel fucking really empowered. It's a bit scary, but it's fucking really, really exciting. Yeah, sometimes I give them a brief, sometimes I don't. But it's up to them. I ask them to get involved because they're amazing. And I can let them just go and do anything they want. And sometimes they take it in a completely different way, and it's fantastic. Usually, I kind of know what they're going to come up with, and they just surprise me with how much better it was than my idea in my head. Right, here's a cup of coffee. Real life is fucking weird. It's better than medication. Medicated life is a con. It's just vanilla. And I like vanilla, but I like, you couldn't just live on custard. But yeah, this is fun. It's a trip. It's a fucking trip. But I've been doing a lot of work on myself, and I'm kind of at the stage where I'm ready for the next stage. I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with the decisions I've made. I'm happy where I am in my life, and I'm ready for the next stage. So mind, body, and spirit. I think I've got my mind and my body in a good enough place now where I can just keep working on it, and it's going to get better, but I'm happy with the progress. Spirit, that's a new one, isn't it? I want to go and start exploring consciousness, start exploring the next dimension. And this involves DMT, which I've never really done. I think I've took DMT before when I wanted to get high, and it's probably been awful. But I'm going to start getting involved in consciousness exploration and see what's going on there, because I think it's, you need to be in a really good, healthy place with yourself to stick your head through and peer into another dimension, because I think you're going to find a lot of, if there's anything you're harbouring or there's any bullshit or impure intentions, boom, that's all you're going to get. That's what I figure anyway. And everything else is based on how pure are you going in? What are you going in for? What do you want to find out? I'm not going in there to sort out my depression anymore, because I think I've got a good angle on that, what it is and how to combat it. But I want to know what I don't know. And therefore I'm going in there like a baby. And I think that's a good thing to be. To be perfectly honest, I'm not coming in here with any kind of, I don't know. I don't agree with that. I'm going to you just fill me up with whatever the fuck is going on in there. I'm all ears. Yeah, that's going to be the next one. I reckon I'm ready for it. So yeah, I'm in a good place, but mentally my fucking brain is all over the place, as you can probably tell. Right, I hope that answered. I don't feel like I'm answering any of these questions properly, but I hope that you don't mind. You know what it is? I haven't got my fucking thing on. That's what it is. If I don't put this thing on, I feel like I'm kind of trapped in limbo. So I'm having it on, and I know that we're halfway through, and it's far too fucking late, but I'm still going to do it for my own peace of mind. You can't even see it anywhere. Colin Tosh. I love the band performance on the Tim Smith Live in the Studio film. Can you talk about that project, and would you consider filming something similar, like a rehearsal for the next EP? Well, the next EP is already being rehearsed and recorded, so no, Colin Tosh. But I don't know if you saw the album rundown, but I revealed a few home truths about the Tim Smith thing, in as much as it wasn't live in the studio. I was live, the vocals were live, and the lead guitar was live. So my guitar was live and my vocals were live and the drums were live and everything else was mimed. We just used take takes from when you record an album. There's loads and loads of guitar tracks, and they're hidden behind other tracks when you record digital, as we do now. So you can pull another performance, and it sounds like a different performance, or it sounds like a fresh take on the album performance. But CG was miming the guitars and the vocals. Scott was miming the guitar and the vocal. Rich was playing the drums live. I was playing the rhythm guitar was mimed, I think. It couldn't mime the vocals and pull it off as being live. So the vocals are all live. And any lead guitars or any riffs where you can see the guys playing, they had to be done live. Would I do something like that again? No, I don't think so. It was fun, and I wanted to look like we were having it in the studio, like, you know, but it wasn't live, and I don't think I would like to do something like that again. I'd like to do something live with the band, but I'd like to do one of these tiny desk concerts. Is that what it's called? Something like that. That was us just setting up and playing in a way that we wouldn't do on stage. So not necessarily an acoustic performance, but just something that was just a little bit different, just so you could showcase the harmonies, because the voices in the band are really strong. And it's funny enough, I was listening to a couple of the practice things for the album that we did in this living room, this very room here, all sat around, Charles on a cajon and us on acoustic. I just got a fucking midgie in my eye. That's all right. You know when midgies bite you? It's, I think I said this, didn't I? They're females. What's that about? Yeah, I had to listen to some of the rehearsals of the song, and they sounded fucking amazing. It didn't sound like acoustic. It sounded like, fucking hell, that sounds amazing. Wouldn't you know it? This fucking egg timer stopped working. Am I in a fucking weird simulation? Things feel fucking weird right now. I'm under the impression that there's a shift going on. It's going to happen within the next couple of years, but it's going on now. Things are changing, and sometimes I just feel like I'm in a weird fucking dream or that. Anyway, I digress, like I do. But yeah, I'd like to do something live with the band. That would be fun. It's a great band. It'd be nice if we could chat as well, because it's a good vibe, this band. And it's funny. We're just fucking shooting the shit with each other, and it's genuinely entertaining. I think that would probably be as entertaining as the music. So yeah, an evening with the Wildhearts kind of thing. I'd like to do something like that. Ken Bryant says, Ginger, if an actual alien visited you and could speak and you could understand it, and he asked you to point it to the human person or group with the most power and influence on Earth, where would you point the alien? The most power and influence? I'd point at the fucking computer. They're the things with the most power and influence on the Earth. I wouldn't, if I could speak to an alien, the last thing on the Earth I would want to do is direct it to a human. I think humans are the worst thing on Earth. Present company accepted. I think humans are definitely the worst thing that's ever happened to this planet. We're the cancer. We're a virus on this planet. I would point a fucking straight to Maggie, and then I would point to all the animals that I see every day. I say, there's the common sense. There's the stuff that's really sorting it out. They've got their shit together, and they're doing it consistently, and they're not trying to fuck over each other, trying to get it done. They kill each other every now and again for food, and then they leave them alone. And I think humans are the fucking worst thing on this planet, and it just seems to get progressively worse. They're a rotten bunch. They have no standards, for the most part, and I'm not talking about us. I think there's a minority, and I do believe it's a minority, because I think human beings on the majority are just lazy, and lazy people fall into these kind of negative states, negative behavioural patterns. So I don't think people do things against the natural flow of things because they're evil. I think they do it because they're just fucking stupid. There are good people. I do believe there are good people, but you never know who someone is. We were screwed over by one of our people the other day that I really had high hopes for, and they just turned out to be another opportunist, self-serving, greedy, corporate wannabe wanker. Well, I like the closeness and the family and the rest of it, but money. And I just thought, you don't know who anyone is. When I'm in a field and I'm surrounded by fucking rabbits, I know who every single one of them is. None of them are going to do anything that's going to fuck the whole fucking picture up or ruin it for all the other rabbits or surprise me. It's just, just a comfort in how consistent nature is. It just does things, keeps doing them, and you know where you stand. As soon as I came back here, as soon as I went from flat ground to rocky ground, I felt better. My feet started hurting, my legs started hurting when I was walking on flat ground. As soon as they get a bit of a challenge, my body rose to the occasion and I felt like me again. As soon as I saw them little fucking furry bastards running around, and I'm just like, oh, thank God. And I hate not liking humans. So I wish that they weren't such fucking arseholes. But they are. And I'm really fortunate that I know some nice ones. I know some really nice ones. And every time someone proves himself to be just another stooge, the rest of them all rise in my estimations. You know, how tenacious some people are. How you can be in a situation that just seems unsolvable, and all the good people around you will solve it, will figure out a way through. And I love that about people. But there wouldn't be a problem in the first place without fucking people. They're a fucking exhausting bunch. So yeah, the last place I would point an alien is towards humans, because I don't like people very much. Joe Thomas says, if you'd have played at the recent Aussie Black Sabbath show, what song would you have wanted to do? Symphony of the Universe. Easy. Greatest riff ever written, will ever be written. Simple, and Sabbath have got a lot of great riffs, but Symphony of the Universe, it's like, again, just makes sense. It's pure. It's absolute, like, there you go. Boom. There's the riff. It'll never be beaten. It never will be. It's almost organic in how concise it is, how it manages to achieve everything in just those three fucking notes. It's like nature. It's mighty in its purity, purest form. The greatest riff ever written. That's the one I would have done. But that's another thing that happened since the last time I was here. I came home and Ozzy wasn't there anymore. And it was weird. I went to spend some time with my family, and we got a nice takeout meal, and we thought, what can we watch on the telly? And we put an Ozzy Osbourne documentary on, and it was Ozzy Osbourne, quite old as well. It was 15, 20 years old. He was 60 when it was recorded, and he was in no danger of dying or anything. So it was just Ozzy Osbourne, and it was just what a cunt he was. The whole documentary was, his family were all in it and everything, and just talking terrible stories about Ozzy Osbourne, none of which you would have seen when he was dying. Obviously, Ozzy Osbourne, he's a fucking maniac. He didn't just go around doing nice things to people. He was also a psychopath. And there's no Ozzy now. And everyone just goes like, this, the only person in the history of music that everybody likes, and no one's got a bad word to say about. I'm like, no, everyone likes him, but plenty of people got bad things to say about Ozzy. He tried to strangle his wife and ended up in prison. Remember? No, you don't, do you? You remember that Hulk Hogan called someone black once or something? People's selective memory is fucking hilarious. I love it. It's like, human beings, we're all fuck-ups. None of us are perfect. Stop trying to fucking deify people. Well, yeah, it's going to be a lonely world without Ozzy. Not because he was a fucking a saviour of the puppies, but because he was an actual maniac. And there's no maniacs anymore. He was old and he hasn't been a maniac for a long time. And I think it was just a beautiful thing, the way that he managed to hold off. And there's been a lot of that around. People dying in a way that they want to die. Almost, orchestrating their own death. I love that. I find death very, very beautiful. And I know this is not a very popular take, but I do. I find that death is, it can be a very beautiful thing. I have no idea what fucking hell, my brain today. I have no idea what the question was, but yeah, there you go. Do you think that guitars should be recorded with real amps? Yes. The end. Personally, I think I can hear the difference between a plug-in and a real amp. And I'm interested in your take on it. Well, I don't think there is that much of a difference. I think it's down to the player. It's also down to how you play it. There's a way of tuning guitars to record. Most people tune the guitar so it's exactly in line, and then they play the guitar, and then the sum of those guitars on top of each other is the sound of what you hear. But that's not guitars in tune. That's guitars in tune with a tuner. People like me who've been recording guitars for a long time record guitars to the chord. So you're playing open chords or you're playing bar chords. You tune the strings slightly, usually slightly flat, so you know how you play, how you perform, and how sharp you can pull it a lot of the chords have different kind of tuning, intonation kind of things. I'm not sure the correct term, but you can play a chord in tune only if it's flat. You can't play a guitar that's sharp in tune. Does that make any sense? So yeah, a lot of the time you hear guitars. I can hear when guitars are tuned to a computer. I can also hear when someone's playing the guitar in the way that they play. I can hear someone's style. It's a rhythm guitar thing. Lead guitarists won't really know what I'm talking about because it doesn't make a lot of difference when you just. But when you're a chord player, there's definite ways to play chords, and there's certain chords that are always out of tune, and you can pull them back in. There's certain strings that are always out of tune, like the G string, that you can play in tune and wherever you are on the neck. Fiddly, very clever. But yeah, I can tell, but I don't think anyone else can. What was the question again? But yeah, I do think you should record using real amps and real speakers. Feedback's a great thing. You can't get feedback unless you're standing next to you. I imagine some bands just go and find some feedback online and slip it into the song. But I like to know that I'm feeding back on the chord I'm coming in on, based on what I'm coming out from. Things like that. So I definitely think I can tell the difference, but I'm not sure anyone else can, which is a shame, really, because the best thing about... See, guitars don't make any sense. The 6 strings being in tune with each other, technically, mathematically, is impossible. Doesn't make any sense. There's so many variants on how it can go wrong. Now, a guitar being in tune with itself to the ear is one thing. In tune with itself to a tuner and being in tune on the ear and sounding in tune with the track, virtually impossible. You put a guitar next to that, it should sound terrible. It should sound dreadful. There's something about the harmony of guitars when they're out of tune that makes a beautiful sound, but it's a result of being out of tune. And I think the most beautiful things with vocals on record is when they're slightly out of tune with each other. You listen to any albums from the 70s, people are still tuning from a fucking harmonica. They're tuning the guitars and singing without any pitch fucking benders or plugins that put your voice in tune. And on the last album, there's no tuning on anything. It's all fucking organic as fuck. And you can tell it just sounds... That's a reason why that band sounded better in the 70s. Records sounded better in the 70s. Is because it's got a human shittiness about it. That's the beauty of music. It's the sound of emotions, human emotions, not computer emotions. The fucking digital world. I'd be fucking happy if all of this just dropped tomorrow. If they fucking turned everything off and left everyone to go feral. I'd be fucking well happy with that. Stephen Hines, you mentioned studying Stoicism. What books, videos, etc. do you recommend? None. Go and find out for yourself. The things with stuff like Stoicism and Buddhism is it's so very personal that if anyone recommends anything, it might not gel with you because it gelled with them and it might put you off. I would say stick your head in, use Google Stoicism or buy a Stoicism daily thing. I think there's one, I was buying them for people. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a different Stoicism quotation for every day. It's a little book of daily affirmations. I also like these things, the things that you rip off every day, the little calendar things. This is a pants, which is one of my favourite. If anyone is a fan of The Dark Side, they'll probably love this pants. I have a bunch of them. I love these things. I like this one, Effing Birds. That's another one of my favourite, just because it's pictures of animals swearing. And then this one is probably the sort of thing I'd recommend in Stoicism. This is my little Stoicism everyday thing. You can see that the last time I was home was July 3rd. And I just came home yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to look through them all. And those things are great. It just puts it in your head. There's nothing to actually learn about Stoicism or Buddhism. All it does is get rid of the bullshit. I'll tell you what Buddhism is. There's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. There's only now and there's only you. There's Buddhism. Stoicism, stop moaning, get on with it. That's Stoicism. Oh, the screens just went mad. Oh, there you go. Oh, producer Phil has just said the Daily Stoic, 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living. And that's on Audible, so you can get Audible versions of it. Ryan Holiday. I would recommend that. Just something that you look at it every day and you go, that makes sense, that makes sense. And then there's stuff in Stoicism that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you should be obsessed about dying, you know. They're convinced that everyone's terrified of dying. And if people aren't terrified of dying, in the classic Stoicism, they're kind of like fools. It's an old-fashioned thing, and it's done well to stay up to date for the most part. But I mean, that's bollocks, isn't it? Like, I don't want to die, and I'm certainly not scared of dying. I'm fucking bring it on, motherfucker. So there's things like that. And there's things in Buddhism that, you know, you can't achieve enlightenment unless you stare at a wall. And I'm not going to fucking sit and meditate. I've got too much to fucking do. And then I found out that you can meditate whatever you're doing. I walk Maggie and I meditate. I sit by the water and I meditate. I write music and I meditate. There's loads of ways of meditating, running, you know, getting on your bike, just fucking pedaling. Yeah, find your way. It's the same as diets and it's the same as working out. You must find your way, what works with you. And then when you find something that works with you, keep doing it. And that's the best way to get results. And if you're going to try and find anyone else's way and it doesn't work, it'll just kick you out. You'll get bored with it. And then you'll stop doing it. What the fucking point of that? So yeah, I would say get stuck in anywhere. That one, fucking the Daily Stoic, that's a great place to start. And again, don't fucking read too much of it. The beauty of Stoicism and Buddhism is it seeps in. It's not like you have to fucking cram it because you got an exam or something. It's a lifestyle change. It's for the rest of the time. So take a little bit at a day. If you have a day where it just doesn't make any sense, that's fine as well. But just, you know, don't be in a hurry to learn everything. There's nothing to learn. You're learning about yourself, and that takes time and it takes patience. You've got to be very, very gentle with yourself, and you can't be frustrated. You're not going to learn anything about yourself if you're frustrated at your progress. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. James with a Y. Hey, James with a Y. I'm sure I remember hearing that you said the start of the revolution will be televised was designed to have an intro that sounded like Green Day. No, that's Green Day. Mate, it's fucking Stiff Little Fingers. I'm old enough to know where Green Day got it from. Green Day didn't invent anything. Good band, don't get me wrong, but nothing sounds like Green Day. It sounds like the fucking Clash or Stiff Little Fingers or the Buzzcocks. That's Green Day. Are there any other intros, songs that are written to sound like other bands? I was actually going to say, no, of course there isn't, but I would be full of shit because every intro I write is meant to sound like Sweet. Even if it doesn't, even if it's heavy, or even if it's noisy, it still has the blueprint of Fox on the Run by Sweet. It's you know, intro riff fully expanded into whatever the hook is. But it's all, every riff that I write is meant to sound like Sweet. There was something that Sweet invented that didn't exist before them, and they don't get any credit for it at all. And there's so many bands that get so much credit there, and it can make me feel a bit sad sometimes that Sweet don't get the credit, but I give them credit for it. But yeah, every song I write, I try to write with that feeling that Fox on the Run first gave me when I was a little shit of a lad. A specific genre. The reason I asked, I heard Everlong the other day and it occurred to me that the intro in my mind sounds like a superhero song. Was it intentional? Ooh. Is that the intro? Wait, there's that many fucking intros on Everlong. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yeah, it absolutely does. When you think singing like that, it just sounds. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. But that's not, you know, that was World War II. Whatever, which
Flight
was
of the Valkyries.
The Flight of the Valkyries.
Is it Flight of the Valkyries?
Yeah. But yeah, that thing, yeah, that stirring, gigantic, whoa. Yeah, it was, I guess. It's more of a case of trying to get a feeling in. I like getting a feeling that I get a personal feeling when I'm writing something that other people pick up on. That one being probably a rewrite of Flight of the Valkyries, and you thinking it sounded like a superhero thing, is kind of like absolute circle. It succeeded in getting exactly what it did to me to you. So I like that. So yeah, I'll take that one. Right, who's this by? Gaz Kiki and Frobisha Curly. Fucking hell. That's a bunch of people I want to hang out with. That looks like a fucking good night out with them lot. Hi Ginger. Can I just start by saying that it's wonderful to see you so happy. Your positivity is infectious. Well, I think positivity is infectious. Because it wants nothing. So it doesn't eat up anything. All it is promote. and it grows. So yeah, positivity is very infectious. And I find being around the band, and there's been a few things that have happened lately that, personal things and obviously things with people that we know and everything, but personal things to me as well. And the band have just, they're so good at getting through things and just keeping things on a kind of level that, yeah, you can be not having the best of times, but it doesn't show on the surface. Conversation's still fun and light and humorous. So yeah, I find positivity is quite the thing at the moment. I'm digging it. You said in a previous podcast that nobody can like all your output, much like you not digging Sparks at all. My question is, why can't they? I genuinely like all your output, from Dark Black to the Sinners, even Clam Abuse, saying that I do invest more time listening to your material than I... Right, well, okay, Gaz, Kiki and Frobisha Curly. I guess I was just being facetious. Just one of those things. My stuff is, some of it's, if you go back and listen to a lot of it, some of it is really dark. And I don't just mean in tonality or style, but some of the lyrics are confessionally dark, which is really uncomfortable. And then some of it is almost puerile in its light humour. And I wonder how anyone, apart from me, could kind of gel with both of those. But on a stylistic kind of thing, yeah, I don't like, I still like the Spark stuff I don't like. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense whatsoever. They have some stuff that's just, it's not a genre that I would listen to, like their kind of 80s electronica stuff, that where the Pet Shop Boys and the Communards and all that kind of got it from. It's not music that I would listen to, but it's Sparks doing it, so I will listen to it and I will enjoy it. I don't know that, tonally their lyrics still have a similar cadence, a similar, level, whereas mine are fucking swoop all over the place. I think their Sparks are a lot less schizophrenic than I am. So I think my music disturbs and makes people feel uncomfortable more than Sparks. So I wouldn't know why someone would feel like at home with something that is kind of soft and mushy, like Ghost in the Tanglewood, or something that's really disturbing like Mutation. But then maybe they're just as fucked up as I am, and they find some kind of pleasure in the fact that I'm as fucked up as they are. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Why do people like anything? Why do people like anything? Seeing the new members' profiles and Carol's supporting Penn friend the other week, I can see that they're all busy people. Will the WiLDHEARTS be top priority for them, or will you have to find time for all their projects? Is Steve Handley fucking better be top priority? People have to work. People have to earn a crust, as they say. But I think the feeling that we get together with the band is certainly priority. When we're there, navigating the music industry could be really difficult, and there's very few times where you have like a cushion of kind of familial comfort and positivity. Some of the times traversing the music industry and its fucking many slings and arrows, it's the challenge. That's the good bit. I got through that. I can get through anything. But with the WiLDHEARTS now, it's kind of like, thank God I can sit down. And people will take the equal parts of the weight of the thing and carry it. And that's a very rare thing. I don't think that happens very, very often. It's certainly not common, and it probably doesn't happen in a lot of their other dealings with the music industry. So I think the WiLDHEARTS being able to come back to that, we'll call it the Northern Spirit. I call it the Northern Spirit because it's the title of the next album, and it's what I was feeling when I was writing the album. And when everyone came here to get the vibe of the album, they all felt this thing as well. And it's this positivity, or this ancient, nurturing, loving energy. And it almost feels you can see it, or you can see a shape. It's like a big blob, like a big beanbag. And I think, you go out there into the world and have to do whatever you have to do to make a living. And then you come back in to this, and it's like being home. It's like a hub, like an energy hub. I can't describe it properly, but it definitely feels like it's a tangible thing that it gets you when you come home. It welcomes you, and you just fill up on it, and it fucking therefore doubles because you're reacting with exactly the same pure energy as it is. And it creates this amazing thing, and I think that will be a priority for everyone. But people got to work, and people have other interests as well. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think we're going to be all right with this one. I think everyone gets it. Everyone feels that energy. The crew feel that energy. People around us in studios, in venues, festivals, everyone's feeling that energy. We're bringing something at the gigs. The audience are feeling it now. They're starting to feel we're not just taking a set of songs and a bunch of people plugging in and playing them. It's beyond that. We're taking this thing that we can feel. We want that to be the currency. And I think that's going to start being a thing. We're so convinced in this thing that I think we're going to start convincing other people. And I think it's going to be quite the ticket. Well, we'll see. But anyway, my brain's fucking really doesn't want to stay on any topic for more than a few seconds today. So do forgive me for dolphining about. Keith Marchant says, with all the technology available now, do you prefer the recording process now with its 1,000,001 options, the clicker button, or how it was in the past? And lastly, I simply adored Pessimist, and I don't see how acoustic country folk vibe can fit in the Wildhearts. Are you going to prove me wrong? No, I don't want to put that vibe in the Wildhearts, but I will. That's not to say that we couldn't do something in that vein. It just wouldn't come out sounding like that. See, those albums, Pessimist and Ghost in the Tangle, was pretty much me playing everything. Those people played, don't get me wrong, but I was playing the drums and the bass and the thing. So I had this sound and I just went for that. I would come in with a song and then the band would play it how they play it, and it would sound like the Wildhearts. Always been the same, really. So when I go and do a solo album, it probably sounds a bit more traditionally whatever that genre of music is that I'm exploring, whereas the Wildhearts could take a song from the Pessimist and it will sound completely different. So yeah, I don't think I'd want to do acoustic country and the Wildhearts, but I would want to go present an acoustic country song and say, what the fuck we're going to do with this? The technology thing. Do I prefer how it was? Pluses and minuses. You get more done now. It's quicker with digital. Doing everything in the box means that you can do a lot of stuff a lot quicker than you could before when you're using tape, waiting for ages for the tape to fucking rewind. It comes off the spool and it starts flapping about, so you've got to put it on. By the time you do that a dozen times a day, you've lost an hour. Convenience now obviously is a lot more convenient, but we employed a lot of the old methods in the new album we've just recorded, in as much as we spent a long time getting drum sounds instead of just going for sounds samples, like you just drum triggers and things like that. We wanted to get proper sounds, proper guitar sounds that sounded like the sort of guitar tones that excited me when I used to record Earth vs. the Wildhearts or PHUQ, especially PHUQ, because we had a bit more of a budget. There wasn't a lot of thought went into Earth vs. the Wildhearts. We just kind of went from stage to in the studio and recorded it, figuring it was demos, and then it got released. Well, PHUQ was real seasoned professional guys using different mics and different mics placings and speakers and stuff like that, and we did a lot of that. And I really enjoyed that. So I'm Generation X. I'm pre-digital. So I like having the memories of knowing that you've nailed it, and that's that's a guitar sound. It's staying like that. Whereas if you got it, you just, that'll do for now. We'll reamp it later in the box. In the box is what they call doing things on computer in studios. So yeah, a bit of both. I like the analog way of getting sounds and committing to it, and so that's what we did. Absolutely, on everything on the new album. But yeah, we had a very short amount of time to record it because we don't have huge budgets like a lot of big bands. So, we couldn't stay in there for months. We literally had weeks. So we got all of these sounds that you would have done pre-digital in the old analog days, but we did them. We were able to record fast, and everyone can play it really well. So we were able to play it fast. Bit of both. Holly Edwards Burrell says, would you please come back and play Seattle? I hope you do and bring Dunk. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a choice. Dunk would be with us anyway. If we went to Seattle without Dunk, we'd never hear the end of it. In fact, it just would be unheard of. It'd be like me going to the park and leaving Maggie in the house. Come back and play Seattle, are you kidding? It's so frustrating now, Holly. It's so frustrating. You've no idea. It's so hard to play America. It's so hard to fucking do anything these days, but it's so very hard to play America because I don't know how you do it. Unless you've got some back in there that are going to pay for you to do things. You can't afford to do it like old school, like, well, you play there and there, and that'll pay for you to go over there and play there and there. And so you might not make money from doing it, but you can afford to do it. And now the visas are going to cost more than you're ever going to make. How the fuck can people do it? Unless you're from money or you have a rich patron or a big label over there. I don't know how people can play America. It doesn't make sense. It costs $7,000 for a fucking visa. That's for one person. How the fuck are we going to afford to take 5 people, let alone Dunk as well? It's just ridiculous. It's such a crazy setup. I hate to think about it, but I wonder if the days of bands just going over and playing America are over. Unless something drastic happens in America where it goes back to being more of a country. And I don't think it's going to happen because America is a business. Yeah, America's not a country anymore. It's a business. And I don't see that changing. In fact, I don't see that changing at all until everything changes. I don't know. I won't go into this too much, but I think there's some huge, huge changes about to happen. America's going to be a big part of that, for better or for worse, over the next couple of years. And within the next 10 years, everything's going to be different. So I'm not sure that bands aren't going to be touring America anymore, unless they're big bands. Jeff H asks, do you have rune Norse tattoos, and if so, why? Yes, I have rune Norse tattoos because I'm a fucking northerner. Where it comes from. The Vikings all came over and landed in my fucking garden. Most of my garden at the time. I was informed by where I grew up in, near Jarrow, was where the Vikings came and did their original looting and raping and pillaging. And what did we do? We put up a fucking statue of them to thank them for raping all the women, turn them all into all the kids into redheads. All that Nordic stuff and the Celtic stuff, it's where I come from. I see a lot of it around and I'm like, yeah, it looks cool and it's great, but it is actually part of my heritage. My fucking hair is Celtic. It's funny because I've said this before, but people go on about cultural appropriation with dreadlocks, and I'm like, nah, you've got it all wrong. History has lied to you. Dreadlocks weren't invented in Jamaica by the Rasta. The word dreadlock was invented in Jamaica by Rasta. The hairstyle came over from the Celts, who predate Haile Selassie by quite some fucking margin. So yeah, they're fucking my fucking brethren. My blood up there. It's northern fucking blood, northern spirit. This is fucking northern shit, this is. Yeah, I feel justified in doing it, but it is true, they do look good. But I like the Nordic thing. I like that when things are going fucking shit and you just fucking, that northern fucking spirit, just fucking dig in and do it, get through it. And I feel like that came from the fucking Vikings, from people coming over here with fucking, a loincloth on in the snow. It didn't come from the fucking gentry. Last question. Right, I'm gonna have a fucking one of these. I have this blend in these things, and it's too like anything. If I get into something, it's going to be discontinued. So I've got into 2 things. One was the first flavour I ever had when I was in hospital, and producer Phil brought me a vape, and it was that flavour. That was the only one it was available. And this other flavour that I got by accident, and I'm just addicted to them. And so first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I reach over for this fucking thing. Is that terrible? But they're nipples, aren't they? We're just sucking on a tit. That's all it is. We're fucking babies, aren't we? What can I say? I like nipples, I like tits. Last question. Can you give us any exclusive teasers about what's happening next with the Wildhearts, please? Next with the Wildhearts is we have a little bit of time off now where I'm going to go and mix the album. I think I'm starting, there's talk about starting on the book with Mick Wall, but I don't know. That's entirely up to Mick because he's getting better now after a heart attack, so that might be put off. The Wildhearts' next activity is December. We're going to do some dates in December. We were going to do an acoustic thing, but I just don't want to. I'm not ready. I want to get this band into venues, smaller venues, where there's not as much bureaucracy and red tape. Just go in there, set up and play. I really want to start taking things back to basics with this band. It's such a great band. And like I say, we're not just going there and bringing music, we're bringing this vibe. And I think what better place but in a venue that's small enough where you can't hide. All your fucking warts and everything are going to be on display, and all your beauty. And I really want to take it to a place where we make a nice, intense vibe for people to take home. It's a fucked up times, and I think everyone needs some good vibes. And that is the next thing. If we put those dates on sale and they sell well, I might start putting little weekends together in out-of-the-way places and seaside places. I always like doing them, but it's not cost-effective. It costs a lot of money to take a band and a crew out, and these venues, you can't, unless we charge 50 quid for a fucking ticket to play in a tiny little place, we can't really afford to do it. So there's got to be some push and pull. If you've got bigger gigs that are paying, or you've got some activity going on, you can exist on the t-shirts and you just take a knock from the money that you make from the gigs. We've got a new agent working with us now, so that's going to be interesting for next year. There's going to be a lot of happenings next year. I'm going to keep this band on the road. By fucking Christ, we've done fuck all this year. I won't go into that too much, but yeah, we've been starved of the live experience this year, and it ain't going to be happening next year. That's where I'm taking this band, is into venues, back into small venues where people can fucking afford to go, in the middle of places where people already fucking live, and if they don't live, at least they're going to travel into somewhere where it's nice. So yeah, I'm going to put this band back into venues in the middle of towns where people can go and have a fucking time out, take the missus and fucking get rid of the kids, meet up with some friends, have a good time. Old school nights out in a good venue with a good PA, not fucking huge venues with overpriced beer and all this fucking bullshit that you get, and rules and regulations up the wazoo. You can have this, you can't have that. Well, they said you can have that, but the next one says you can't have that. You can only have all of this crap that goes on when the venues get a little bit bigger. Go back to basics, great band, great venues, and the best audience in the world. That's what I want to do next year. The album is going to be finished. We'll finish mixing it by the end of September. Hopefully it's going to come out in March. There's talk about it coming out later. I don't know. Ain't my fucking world anymore. The days of me being a record label are long gone. I don't have many regrets, but that's close to one. But yeah, we're going to be dead busy. I'm going to make sure that the band are playing somewhere near you at some point, and we still haven't played. I can't believe we didn't play London and Newcastle this year. It just doesn't make... People don't understand why you have an agency that wouldn't book you in the place you come from and the place where you sell best. Why the fuck aren't we in Japan? Why have we not been to Japan? Every fucking day I wake up and there's messages. When are you coming? What's wrong with Japan? I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, I want to get this band out playing live. We've got an agent now that hopefully is going to fucking book us gigs, because that's what agents are supposed to do. We're in the process of getting management who are going to think of it as a good thing to book gigs, because then they can take their commission and not think that it's a good idea to have you sit in the fucking house. People, oh, they're fucking annoying. But the good news is I'm back in the middle of nowhere, in the countryside, surrounded by sheep and rabbits and fucking little things that climb, crawl and fly. And I'm in a very, very good place, and long may it continue. Thank you for your kind patience and keeping up with me this week, because my mind is all over the fucking place. God helps producer Phil for editing this bullshit together. I guess that's all of us are going to cross the bay, and that is unfortunately his. I will see you next week. Is it next week? Yes, next week. Anyway, it might not look like it, but I'm fucking really, really happy. I'm in a really good place. But yeah, I'm not on medication, so my mind is all over the fucking place. And I'm still getting used to wrestling this shit to the ground. But next week, I will be slightly better at it. And hopefully, this hasn't put you off sticking with us. Thank you very much for your patronage and your support, and just for being you. God bless.